I'm in my car. I'm just parking near like a highway or something, or near no, not highway, like it's like shops and everything. But the back side of it. Anyway, bottom line is that guy last night. You see my window here. You see the window there? He was like this. His head was this high. I don't know if you can see my foot there. His head was as high as my toe, which is like halfway up the window. The guy's my height. If I was to stand next to that window, that would be my chest. Not even my chest would be that high. My chest would be higher than that. That's like my stomach. You see where my foot is? He was this high. He was that high where my toe is. His whole head was that high, and so if he was to stand up, you wouldn't even see his shoulders. So basically, he must have been crouched down. He must have been crouched down. He must have been crouched down. He must have been crouched down like this high. He was like this high. Right? He was like this high. His head was this high, and he tapped on the window like that. First, I felt the door like click, click. I thought it was maybe something falling on my roof, like a tree branch or something. Then I heard like this, and when I heard that, I knew there was trouble. I knew there was trouble. It wasn't even like a. That's not like, say you want my attention. It's like, excuse me, and there would be a guy like standing there, like with a guy standing tall. This is like ominous. It's like this, like that. And when I look, the guy's face is right here. He's right here. He's right here. He's just looking at me. He's like not even high. He like, so this is my window. This is my window, right? You think his head would be up here? No, his head was down here. His head was down here, just looking at me. And I was also looking like quite low. So his head was just looking like that. And he was just tapping like that with his knuckle, like that, softly. And when I saw his face, I was like, the minute I saw his face and the way he was tapping and the way he was crouched down, I knew instantaneously that's not normal. That is not normal. That's not just some guy that happens to be walking past wanting to ask for something. And they didn't say anything. And now when I think about it, it's so creepy. He goes, like that. Like he's not saying anything. He's not saying anything. And all the while, his other hand was on you only saw the one hand. The one hand was here. The other hand was on, I would assume, it was on the car door, and he kept clicking it, click, 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 trying to open it. Click, click, click all the time, trying to open it. While he's looking at me, he's looking dead at me. He's looking dead at me, dead in my face, mumbling, yeah, with his one hand here, and the other hand clicking on the door handle all the time. Click, click, click. And just remember, like you see this, you see this where my toe is? That's like about 3.5 feet off the ground. Maybe not even 4 feet off the ground. That's where that's where the top of his head was. His head was here. His head was here. His head was here. Right? His head was here. His head was here. So that means he must have been almost on his knees, crouching down. And I never saw. You see the back mirror? I don't know if you can see do you see that over there? Do you see over here? I don't know if you can see it, but there's a tinted window there, right? I never saw any shadow. I never saw a shadow. So he must have come crawling next to my car, tried to open the door. He must have known I was sleeping in the car, because he never came from the front. He must have seen me sleeping in the car there before, came crawling along, tried to open the car door when I think I'm sleeping, and then when he couldn't, he tapped on the window very softly and ominously. Then when I saw him, he was just staring at me face to face, staring at me, going, and then I was still trying to get into the driver's seat over here, and then when I was trying to find my shoes, he took his wallet out, and like tried to show me his wallet, like as if he's the police or something. But then I saw there was nothing in his wallet. I was going to open the window. I nearly fell for that trap. I wasn't even realizing that going, it's not normal, is it? Like that, just staring at me like a predator, just staring at me like his head is like low. His head's like this high. His head's this high. It's not up here. It's over here. It's like low, like almost like on his knees, just staring at me, crouched down, staring right at me like a predator, all the time, like a horror movie, like click, 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 trying to open the car door handle all the time. Thank God. You see over there? Do you see here? I've got the window open ajar because I'm in suburbia here. I'm in. But before that, my window was like that. And then, thank God, about half an hour beforehand, I closed the window. Otherwise, he could have probably pulled the window down. So it's just like some guy banged in the window. No, this guy was not normal. And then, when I reversed, put my lights on reverse, he then stood over there. He just stood like about 3 or 4 feet to my, my car bonnet is to the side. He just stood there, stood up, and it's like almost staring off into space, looking at me or staring off into space. I can't remember now. And he was big. I'm 6 feet 2. He's like about 6 feet maybe, and he was like a barrel chest and like a bit of a stomach. And his jacket, he's so big, his jacket was very, very, very tight on him. And he had like a beard. He looked very powerful. He had a beard, and he looks like a respectable. Like if you saw that guy standing there, you would never think a few seconds earlier he was on his knees almost, crawling next to my car, banging on my window like that. And my one person said to me like, maybe he was just trying to like look for a place to sleep. Because I told someone, he goes, I don't think that is, because the minute he saw me, then why didn't he run away? Why didn't he run away? When he saw me, he wanted to get in the car even more, kept trying to open the car door all the time. And he tried to fool me by pulling his wallet out. I nearly fell for that trap. And why couldn't he speak to me, say, hey mate, I'm just trying to ask you a question. No, he's going like some demon or something, like some demon or some predator or something. He was trying to trick me to open the door. And he must have known I'm sleeping in the car. He must have known I'm sleeping in the car. He must have known I'm sleeping in the car. He must have known I'm sleeping in the car. And when he saw us in the car, he was even more determined to get in the car. And then when I started to reverse away, he then stood up and then stood back. He never followed me. He never tried to say mate or nothing like that. He just stood up and then almost stared off into space. And like as if the game is over now. And I drove away. I should have put my camera on and filmed him, because normally my camera would be like, but I think my phone must have been in the back, because I was probably in the back there. Pretty much. I wish I had my phone with me in my hand. I could have filmed him, but you know what? I just wanted to get away. All I'm saying is that guy was not normal. The way he acted, and the way he looked at me. A normal person would say, "Excuse me, mate. I'm sorry to bother you." And the way he tapped on the window was like this. And then just stares at me. So yeah, mate, he's lucky I didn't run him over. You know what I mean? Lucky I didn't run him over. Yeah, I should have put my camera on my phone. I should have found my phone and filmed him. I don't know if he's like some mad guy, but he doesn't look like a tramp in the sense that he's too big. A tramp's normally a thin. Unless he was wanting to, I think it was very suspicious. I think he was trying to break into my car. He wasn't trying to steal money, and he wasn't trying to find a place to sleep. He wanted to get to me. All he wanted was to open that door. And say some guy fights him. What if the guy's like a serial killer? What if he's like a bad guy? What if he's got a knife? What if he's extremely strong? You know what I mean? Maybe he's like a killer. Maybe he's a killer. I mean, what? Just break that down. He's a grown man, and he's just going to walk along the canal at 12 o'clock at night. And then how does he know I'm sleeping in my car? He must have seen me before. Maybe he came to target me, thinking, oh, I've seen that guy a few times sleeping in the car. I'll target him. I'll just come here. I'll crouch down by his car and then try and get into his car. But I don't know why he just didn't try and smash the glass. Maybe he's a professional. If he smashes the glass, maybe the people can hear it in the house. There's a house nearby, but I think even if you smash the glass and scream, they still wouldn't come. And and also the way he's crouched down on that, maybe he's a professional. I reckon that guy's like a killer. I'm not joking. I think he's like a serial killer or something, or a rapist or a killer or something. He's not normal. He wasn't trying to get into my car to sleep. He wasn't trying to steal something. He was after me. I like to catch, because the guy is in the dark and he's maybe a killer. Obviously, I'm scared. I like to see that guy in the daytime. Hopefully one day I see him in the daytime standing there. Then if he wants to fight me, we can fight or something. But if the guy's the killer, I'm not going to get entangled with the killer at 12 o'clock at night in the pitch black. I even told the one woman at the petrol station, she goes, oh, that place is very dark down there. And when I drove past later, it's very dark. It's extremely dark. You drive along an extremely dark country road, then you go down an extremely dark side road, then another extremely dark side road, and then you get to this area. It's very, very dark, but there are some lights further down which light up, and there are some houses there, but the houses they're a little bit too far away. They're close by, but they're too far away. Like people, and sometimes people go down there and they drink and everything. So if they were screaming or shouting, I don't think they'd even hear it. And if they did hear it, they wouldn't come out. Mate, I should actually go to the police, but I don't want to tell them I'm sleeping in my car and all that. I reckon someone could get killed down there from that guy. That was not normal what that guy did. Maybe we should have a sting operation. But the police are useless, so they're not interested. They wouldn't help my mother with the vibrations and wouldn't help me with anything. But if they were really good police, they should have a sting operation. They should tell me to go back down there for a few more nights, and they should have like a camera somewhere watching. Anyway, it was eerie. I like staying by the canal there. Now I can't go there because that fucking numpty's there. I'm thinking about fortifying my car, getting some film put on the windows and make it shatterproof. And then secondly, I was thinking about having some like sort of those bars. When people have like a dog, they have those and they put like a bar in the back of their car. Those little like it looks like a burglar bar. It stops the dog from climbing in the front. I may get some of those like sort of burglar bar things for dogs. I may put them on my windows, have them welded on, and then no one can get in my car unless they smash the front windscreen, which is very hard. But that guy, he looked like a predator. He was a predator. He was huge. If it was like some drunk old man, I could understand. If it was like a teenager, but that guy was like a 35, 40, 50-year-old man. Big, stocky guy. You would never, if you saw that guy walking down the street, you'd never think he'd act like that. There's something very suspicious about that.